In this video, we'll be graphing some more exponential functions. Our first example is to sketch the graph of y equals 3 raised to the negative x power. Now to start, we want to set up an xy chart, and we want whatever will make our exponent equal to 0, we want that to be in our chart as the middle x value, and then we want a couple x values to the left of that and a couple to the right of that. So for this problem, that's a pretty easy decision. We want x to be 0. Now, I've already filled out my xy chart. So the 0, x is 0, gives us 3 to the negative 0, which is just 1. So this is my middle value. And then we want to pick 2 x values to the left and then 2 x values to the right. If we put negative 2 in for x, we have 3 raised to the negative 2, and we know that that's 3 squared, which is 9. And then if x is negative 1, we have 3 raised to the negative 1, which is just 3 to the first, or 3. When x is 1, we have 3 to the negative 1, which is 1/3. And then when x is 2, we have 3 to the negative 2, which is 1/9. Now we're just going to plot those points. And you can see then that we have an exponential decay graph. Anytime our variable is in the exponent, we know that we're going to have either an exponential decay or an exponential growth graph. It will never be like a straight line. Our next example, we're asked to sketch the graph of y equals 1/2 raised to the negative x minus 2. Now if we ask ourselves about what would make this exponent equal to 0, we know that the negative x term has to be 2, because then 2 minus 2 is 0. Well, if negative x is 2, then x is going to be negative 2. So I'm going to put negative 2 in the middle of my chart. So x equal negative 2 is the middle x value. And when I put that in, remember negative 2, that's the same as positive 2. So I have positive 2 minus 2 is 0, so this value is 1. Then give myself 2 x values to the left of negative 2 and 2 x values to the right of negative 2. When x is negative 4, I have negative 4, which is positive 4. So this exponent now is 4 minus 2, which is 2. 1/2 raised to the 2 power is 1/4. When x is negative 3, I have negative 3, which is just 3. And so I have 1/2 to the first power, which is 1/2. And then on the right side of negative 2, if I put negative 1 in, I have 1/2 to the negative 1 minus 2. And this is a positive 1. 1 minus 2 is negative 1, so 1/2 to the negative 1 is just 2. When I put 0 in, I have 1/2 to the negative 2, which makes it 4. And when we graph this one, We have an exponential growth graph, and my asymptote is still y equals 0.